Hello, Africa fans. It is a fact that 25% of European Union's energy consumption comes from natural gas, and that Russia is a major supplier of natural gas to Europe. That dependence on natural gas means a dependence on Russia. And in fact, Europe receives approximately 50% of its natural gas supply from Russia. And most of that flows through a pipeline managed by the Russian state-owned company that runs directly through the Ukraine. Because of the huge energy dependence from natural gas, neither Russia nor Europe have cut off the natural gas link between them yet. But energy prices on the European continent have already surged high. Germany alone presently gets about half of its natural gas and coal from Russia, including a third of its oil. And for countries of Estonia, Slovakia, Poland, and Finland, more than 75% of their imports of petroleum oils originate from Russia. Even allies of the European countries like the United States, where I'm from, have previously warned, for a long time actually, that the heavy reliance of Europe's biggest economy on Russian energy imports is a strategic risk, given the growing friction with Putin's rule. This current war between Russia and Ukraine is finally waking up European leaders. And European leaders are now starting to see and feel the effects of that previous US warning. Germany even recently mentioned in their own parliament discussion that it is time for them to accelerate and diversify their natural gas needs. Now the fact is, the pipeline currently being used from Russia to Europe is shorter and cheaper for Europe to use. However, times like this certainly calls for alternative suppliers from Africa. Now, the African Energy Chamber, an interprofessional grouping of energy and mining companies in Africa that focuses in particular on the export potential of African natural gas, say that the exports in liquefied form will increase significantly on the continent of Africa. There are huge discoveries made over the past decade. Just to name a few of those countries is Tanzania, Mozambique, Senegal, and Mauritania. The discovery revelation is that there is a total of 200 trillion cubic feet of gas reserves. And that's enough to supply 2/3 of current world demand for over the next 20 years. In addition, there are 200 trillion cubic feet of proven reserves in Nigeria alone. And as most of us know, West Coast Africa is in closer proximity to Europe. There are further discoveries of natural gas, untapped, in the countries of Gambia, South Africa, Namibia, and even my native country of Somalia, Somaliland. In recent and current years, Sub-Saharan Africa provided about 10% of global production of liquefied natural gas. And this is about 30 million tons a year. International energy analysts predict that a foreseeable forecast by 2025, in just a few years, is that Africa's capacity can and will increase by 150%. Wow, creating a world market supply of up to 25%. But, and a big but, is that such a foreseeable growth and need of the demand depends fully on investments of more than $70 billion. To the average person, that may sound like a lot, to you and me. But for all the European countries combined, if they're serious about an alternative, it is not much to invest in Africa, where they have no enemies. And in recent years, China was the largest crude oil importer from sub-Saharan Africa, followed by the United States. Did you know that Angola is the second leading exporter of crude to China, and it accounted for 15% of China's crude oil imports in recent years? Yep. Perhaps now is the time for the European countries to really consider best alternative for their energy needs. Africa may be further, and large investments may be required, but Europe would not be funding any enemies. What they would be doing is helping to economically build countries that they themselves have had in the past decades kind of messed up. Truth be told, It's time for redemption, Europe. Europe should invest in natural gas from Africa. Now, why wouldn't Europe want to invest in Africa to get their energy needs through Africa's untapped natural gas reserves? I hope there isn't a fear that maybe Africa may become economically a superpower. Is that more of a threat than Putin's Russia? Just asking out loud. Africa, in fact, would be a strong ally to Europe because it is in the collective African nature to create global friendships. What do you all think? Do you agree or not that Africa should be the focus for European countries' energy needs? Chime in with your comments below. Subscribe if you have not yet. Hit the like button since you watched anyways. Until next time, be well, my Africa fans. Peace and love. Bye-bye.